look, there's this saying out there, any given Sunday. I truly believe that. And the reason why is because there's so many different factors that goes into every single week, right? Injuries, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So let's say that Alvin Kamara's back. Let's say that there's no injuries in the game. Then the Bears have a 5% chance of winning. And the reason why, they have the better coach, they'll be better prepared. They have the better wide receivers, the better defense. They have the better running backs. I mean, it's just not fair. The Saints have the edge, and I think this is their game to lose.
I love that Mitch Trubisky highlight. Watch this wobbly duck on a 6-yard pass. Brandon, you say any given Sunday, the Bears' only chance was if this game was going to be played on Saturday, which would have meant Kamara can't play. It looks like Kamara's going to be able to play. The Bears are not going to be able to win this game. But, Wild, you'll love this. Bonus take for something I don't think will happen. If the Bears win, this game forces Drew Brees into retirement. Too much playoff heartbreak.
Wow.
2017. 2017, they lose because of the Stephon Diggs play. 2018, they lose because of the no pass interference. 2019, the worst of them all. You lose a playoff game to Kirk Cousins, something people thought would never happen to anyone. 2020, if you lose to Mitch Trubisky, Drew might say it's enough. Time to hand the car keys to Taysom and go off into the
may say
sunset.
it's enough.
I can't tell if that's a totally serious take, but it's like a retirement match in WWE. I do think Trubisky is starting to get some Tannehill vibes. Starting to like, oh, man, win some playoff games, guys. Maybe I am the answer. And I don't think Drew Brees is retiring. Here's a bonus take. Nick, you gave me a bonus take. Why don't you just switch the roles then? Let Taysom be the guy, and then, uh-oh, here comes Drew Brees. The old veteran comes in for about 100 snaps a year, throws the ball around. A little reverse psychology from Sean Payton.
Oh, future. Oh, that's
a great
smart.
take.
I like that take. I like that take.
Let's head out west. We're going to get now the third chance to see the Rams and Seahawks face off. They split the regular season. Jared Goff's status still up in the air after hand surgery last week. Brandon, Seahawks were your preseason pick, so here we are, and I ask you, is Seattle a lock to beat the Rams?
Almost, Jenna, but I don't think anything is certain, and I don't want to use the word lock. But think about this. We haven't really talked about the Seattle Seahawks the second half of the season since, Russell Wilson imploded and started throwing interceptions all over the place. But this is probably one of the hottest teams in the NFL. Out of the last 7 games, they won 6 games. And then let's think about this. Wild, you had the perfect illustration to talk about this defense when you're like, they're like sneakerheads with one shoe. Because the defensive side was so bad. How do you go from being the NFL's worst defense in the history of the game, to being now the best scoring defense since week 10? This defense totally turned it around. They're healthy. They're playing so much better, and this team is scary. So I have the Seattle Seahawks in this game, not as a lock, all right, because I understand how hard it is to win a game in the National Football League, but the Rams are going to have to come with it, and they don't have little hand Jared Goff.
Yeah. Whoa, okay. Well, they might. We don't know how Goff is going to do. Yeah, that's the question I had. The Wolfpack, Jenna, howled loudly this weekend. We're all rooting for Wolford. He played excellent, so he's still there. Wolford. Nick, I'm really confused about Jared Goff's hand. Like, the fact that he had surgery, and it's like, yeah, I'll be okay in 2 weeks. I'm okay with getting Wolford some play here if Goff can't go. We just saw Kyler not, putting in an injured quarterback, and Kyler didn't really work. So I think the Rams could be okay either way. I think this could have a little upset potential. I'm giving it 27.5%.
All right, this is the second best game of Wild Card Weekend. We'll talk about the best game later. But you guys both keyed in on the most important part. And Brandon is a low-key NFL insider. He doesn't gloss himself as such, but he always has stories. He just doesn't always choose to break them. Brandon, I need you to pound the pavement, hit your sources to find out, because what I'm hearing is that Goff's surgery for his hand was actually a hand enhancement surgery, an augmentation to make it bigger.
It was a long way to go for that joke.
Then I think they could be really dangerous. But your point on the Seahawks, the first half of the year, they scored 30 every single week. The last 8 weeks, They've scored 30 once, and it was against the Jets. Even yesterday, they had 6 points going into the fourth quarter before they finally got it together against San Francisco.
Here, Jenna, that's the game they want to play,
though. For Seattle, I know, but so here's their hope, Brandon. You have to marry the offensive performance of the first half with the defensive performance of the second half. If that's the team they get in the postseason, they can go to the Super Bowl.
They'll be okay.
If not, I think they can beat the Rams, but I don't think they can go on the road to beat a Green Bay, which they'd have to.
All right, we're moving on. Tom Brady and the Bucs headed to our nation's capital. The Washington football team hung on last night for the win over the Eagles to get in. Nick, you've been on this matchup for weeks as a possible upset. Should Tampa be on upset alert here?
Oh, I'm so excited for this game. 5 weeks ago, when Washington was in third place in their division, and Tampa was tied for the lead in the NFC South, I said this is going to be the 4-5. Tampa's going to get the #1 wild card. Washington's going to come back and win the division. And by God, it's the game we're getting. So if you know anything about me, I'm not abandoning this beautiful baby of a take right now, during infancy. No. I'm tripling down. Chase Young is going to eat the Bucs offensive line alive. The Washington football team has won 5 straight games started by Alex Smith, including 4 straight on the road. They don't have to go on the road. They're at home. And by the way, Washington, you're 7.5-point underdogs. That's what the world thinks of you. They think that Tom Brady is going to go into your building and slap you around. Tell that to Chase Young. Tell that to Montez Sweat. Because what I see in Tom Brady's future is a lot of this. Because they're coming after him, and he's getting beat up. I got Washington. Washington wins a shocker. That's the upset of the weekend.
Okay.
So Nick, you're excited to... So Wiles, let me jump in here really quickly. Yeah, so Nick, you're excited about this game, and you're right. You've been talking about it for weeks. I'm also excited about this because there's only 2 things that really makes this show spicy when we're talking about Baker Mayfield and we're talking about Tom Brady. So you think that the Washington football team is going to win because they have that defensive line, that front 7. I truly believe, and I said it, this team is reminiscent of the 2005 Pittsburgh Steelers. They get the job done, Wiles. And you know what? We're going to come on this show, and I'm going to ask you to retract everything you've ever said about Tom Brady. So I'm excited about this game, Wiles.
Okay. Has Chase Young been on the team the whole year? Because all of a sudden we act like he just showed up in the last few games, like he's just there for the win. Team's not that good. I hate to break it to everybody. They're just not that good. I'm sorry, they're not. If Jalen Hurts stayed in the game, they wouldn't even be in the playoffs. Tampa seems to win a lot of games. Here's the problem. And I was rooting for them. They're a fun team to root for. You root for Ron Rivera. This quote this sound that I'm about to play, Jenna, has the air of like a young boxer trying to challenge the champ, and then when the matchup usually happens, it's like blammo, game's over. Can you play the Chase Young sound, please?
Tom Brady, I'm coming. I want Tom. Tom Brady, I'm coming. I want Tom.
Doesn't it take a little something away that he's skipping? I mean, maybe a trot or a jog, but you're skipping while you're also making the threat. I feel like it doesn't mesh or match. I don't know, Brandon. What do you think?
Only you would see that. Only you would see that, Jenna. Only you.
It drove me crazy.
You know,
I don't know if he wants Tom Brady.
Yeah, you know who didn't want to see Chase Young face Tom Brady? Our old friend Gisele Bündchen, who last we heard from her talking about Tom getting beat up and being not supported in New England, can't pass and catch him. All this has a lot of it reminds me a lot of that Giants front 4, which I know Wiles pretends never happened, but a mediocre NFC East team once upon a time beat a far better Tom Brady and a far better overall team with far better coaching.
When is the games? So Sunday? Saturday?
I'm just saying.
The game's Saturday.
The game's
Saturday. I can't wait.
Can't Wait.
All right. We're going to watch it together.
Washington.
We need to watch it together.
Come on, Washington.
Before we go, I do want to mention Fox Super 6 has already given away over $3.5 million. Download the free Fox Super 6 app for your chance to win some of Terry Bradshaw's money. For much more information and scores and all of it, head to the Fox Sports app. We have